Now I give Clemson credit. They're a very good team. They're physical. They're very well coached. I've known Coach Brownell for a long, long time. I think he's the longest tenured coach in the ACC, if I'm not mistaken, and just have so much respect for him. And we knew it was going to be a battle, and it was. But I'm proud of our guys. In a night that our three leading scorers, I think, go 4 for 33. We still score over 1 point per possession and beat a very, very good team by 10 points. And, I think obviously the big story, I'm sure, and it should be, is Javon Hadley's night. He was sensational. Somebody said that 32 points is the most by maybe anybody in an ACC game this year so far. And what's crazy is that's not even his calling card as a quote-unquote scorer. He's just jack of all trades that affects the game in so many ways. And he was dominant tonight, both on the backboard and scoring the ball. But when it comes to our defense, the last 3 games we've played the best defense that we have all year long, in my opinion. And I think it's very, very important to mention the dominant defensive performance of Terrence Edwards over the last 3 games. I just think it's so important to mention him and make sure that he gets praise for the job that he's doing guarding the best player on the other team night in, night out for the last 3 games. Not the entire game. His shooting numbers aren't what they typically are, and as we all know, he's a very, very talented scorer, but he has been sensational. I know I've used that word twice already, but he's been terrific on the defensive end. So we're fortunate to come out with a win against a really, really good team. And questions?
Coach, if you could just kind of talk about your interior defense. I mean, giving up so much size, so much physicality. Clemson's known for their rebounding. Even when you went with your small ball lineup, still just fought tooth and nail inside. Just kind of talk about that defensive coverage.
Yeah,
inside.
I mean, we might have given up a lot of size, but I don't know if we've given up a lot of physicality. Like, it's not how big you are, it's how big you play. And we got guys that play really, really big. A big part of Clemson's offensive scheme is attacking you at the basket. We call it the box. It's the 12 by 8 rectangle kind of around the basket. They're going to post you. They're going to duck you in. They're going to go high-low. They're going to go right at you. And you got to fight. You got to fight down there. And then you have to have the support of your teammates, too. You got to have great ball pressure. You got to have great gaps to be able to do that. And then the fight's not over then. The shot goes up. Now you got to win that one-on-one, two-on-two battle down there in the post. And our guys did a great job of that night in, night out. For war in, war out, as I should say. Yeah, I mean, all those guys. Javon fought his butt off in the post. I thought Kadir did a great job down there. James Scott, Noah fought down there. Kanai. Those guys played really, really hard in the interior.
That was going to be my question to you, so I'm thinking of one on the spot. I know speaking with players all the time, they talk about just how games can kind of go to any different person. Like, they can have the hot hand on any given night. I'm just wondering, like, how you kind of see that, come together with this group. Like, you always talk about them being, they don't really care about their personal success, but to kind of see that, to continue to see that, continue to play out.
I just think it's the makeup of our team. Like, if you would have seen, Javon was out there doing TV media afterwards, so the guys were kind of in there waiting for him. Coaches were down the hall. We didn't come in yet because Javon wasn't in there. And when Javon came through that door and walked in, they just erupted. They just went nuts because obviously they love Javon. He's a phenomenal teammate. He's the ultimate blue-collar, lunch-pail guy. A lot of guys will have higher scoring numbers and stuff like that, but the job he does behind the scenes, under the radar a little bit, is huge. He is a major, major, major piece of why we're really good. And then tonight, it was his night. And what was fun is, like, the guys on the floor were like, go to him. Chucky's giving him the ball, like, end of the game. Go ahead. Clear out. Get out of the way. So it was great to see. And as Chucky's had big, big night scoring. Fats had big, big night scoring. Raines had big, big night scoring. Javon had a big night scoring. We can hurt you in a lot of ways, but there were a lot of contributions from other guys. I thought Kanai Ruth's 3 was huge at a point in the game when we were reeling a little bit. He stepped up and knocked that down. I thought Kadir gave us great energy off the bench. James Scott, he's Inspector Gadget. He's just go arms. I don't know if anybody in today's day and age knows who Inspector Gadget is, but he's just, just plays so hard. Had a double-double tonight, big steal at the end of the game. I could go all the way down and name a bunch of different guys, but it's what makes our team really good. We call it the power of the unit.
Pat, you've been consistent with being pleased with their effort all year. What have you noticed in terms of, like, their level of confidence? How have you noticed it rise? Because it seems like, I dare say, y'all are playing with swagger now, when I'm not sure I necessarily saw that at the beginning of the year.
Confidence is a powerful thing, right? And we have some momentum right now. You can feel it. You feel it in the fan base. I mean, heck, it's nasty out. I mean, it's nasty out. It was hard to get out of my driveway the last couple of days. The back roads are still messed up. I mean, everything's frozen over. Schools are out again, I think, again tomorrow. And we had a bigger crowd tonight than we had against Carolina. That's momentum, So you could tell our guys, they've always been close-knit. We've always been, that power of the unit. We've always had really good chemistry, but you can just kind of feel the pieces coming together, the confidence, as you mentioned, comfort level with each other, with the system. You can just feel it, the momentum. You feel it rolling a little bit. Now, you guys know me. I'm so committed to the next thing in the process, because momentum, boom, can stop like that if all of a sudden you have a bad day of preparation and you go up the pit and get your butt kicked. That's like a screeching halt. So we'll celebrate this one tonight. As I tell guys, we celebrate everyone. Whether we're playing Spalding in the preseason, we celebrate that win that night. When they wake up tomorrow morning, we turn the page and we get ready for a really good pit team. These are two huge games back-to-back against some of the best teams in our conference, and we got to be ready on Saturday.
Here, Coach. You mentioned Kenai Root's big three and kind of helping you jumpstart that momentum again. What can you say about his poise as a freshman to have, just the ability to do that in that moment? Yeah,
he's the only freshman on the team, which isn't an easy role. He's kind of like, they say no man has an island except for Kenai Ruth. But I'm just kidding. Those guys love him. He's like their little brother. But I've said it many times. He's a very mature freshman in his approach and his professionalism. He's got good guys to look up to and to learn from. His minutes might not have been what they've been the last couple games. I don't know. I haven't looked at it, but when you look over at the bench and I think like the way that your bench carries on, the way your bench interacts, the way your bench gives energy is kind of a good indicator, I think, of the caliber of culture in your program. And our bench is elite every night, and he leads the charge. He's got a smile on his face, jumping around, he's supporting his teammates. You call his name, he runs in there, plays his butt off. He's not afraid, and we all know he's ultra talented with a huge future.
Coach, if you could just kind of talk about Kadir. It seems like he's just continually not necessarily playing a huge number of minutes right now, but every time he gets in the game, he makes something big happen.
He just makes stuff happen. Yeah, he's a catalyst. I said it after the last game. You don't want guys to come in off the bench and maintain the status quo. You want them to raise the level of play, and he does that with his energy. I think Kanai's another guy that does that as well, but he's Johnny on the spot. He's always right there, getting a deflection, getting a steal, getting a putback. And it's been big for us. He's given us a big boost, and he was good again tonight for us.
Coach, back here. When you see how hard Javon works every day, to hear the crowd yelling his name, going nuts for him at the end of the game, how does that make you feel as a coach?
Man, he's such a pro. We got a team full of that, but it's fun to be able to really talk about Javon right now, because he's so darn regimented in his daily process. Like, he's whatever he is, 22 years old, going on 40. He just every day gets his work in. He eats right. He gets his sleep. He gets his reps in. He's in the training room. He's doing his recovery. He takes care of his business in the classroom. Like, he's the type of kid you hope shows up at your door, to date your daughter. Javon Hadley's the real deal, and he had a game that he's going to remember for the rest of his life tonight. big-time performance. I mean, like I said, think about that. 3 leading scorers are 4 for 33 from the field, and we still win by 10. I thought our defense was terrific, and obviously Javon was awesome.
Pat, you mentioned the defense and the strides Terrence has made on that side of the ball. For the whole team, do you feel like something has clicked differently on that end of the floor?
You know, a big thing I think after that EKU game, I think the team collectively kind of, you know, made a commitment to each other, a decision that like, hey, we gotta up our game on that end of the floor. I mean, I think our guys always play hard, and we grade every tick of the clock, and you know, we watch the film, and the guys are locked in. But there was another level that we needed to get to, and I give our guys credit. You know, it started with them, the leadership we have, and it's been the best defense we've played all year long. And obviously with a guy like Kaysen Pryor going down, who's one of the better defenders in the country, you know, maybe it just took a little bit of a time for us to figure ourselves out, our new identity on the defensive end. But the last 3 games we've been really, really good, and that has to continue. Yeah, man, that's the power of coordination. Jeez, oh, Pete. Because you know, like this time of year, I'm around the clock working, so my girls at home, I didn't want them to have to go out there and shovel the driveway. So I tried to make some calls and look on Facebook, look on the, you know, and made some calls. Nobody answered my call, and texted some guys that I found on the, so I just put the tweet out, and it was like, bam! I had like 4 plows ready to like, L's up. L's up.